Okay, hello. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Good morning, our followers on Facebook, on YouTube, and other of our social media platform. Like you know, this program broadcast is about the Africa Leadership and the Philanthropy Award 2021. And all we have been doing for more than a week today is bringing up our guests and awardees, nominated awardees for this prestigious award. Like you know, this is the fourth year of this award, and right in the studio with me today, I have a very wonderful man. You know, the first time I met him in Abuja, I just saw a man that is humble, and because he came all the way from Taraba State to attend an event somewhere in Abuja here. Anyway, just to cut the long story short, the I have with me the coordinator of NGADA Special Development Area and Vice President Mambilla Baptist Convention Nigeria, Taraba State, in the person of Honorable Reverend Nagombe Joseph Titus. Reverend, please, you are welcome to our studio.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
So Reverend, we are very live now on air, and we have over 1 million people that is going to watch this broadcast, and all over the world, in UK, in US, because some of our nominees are actually not in Nigeria. Most of them are not in Nigeria. We have a lot of them from outside the country, and they are watching. So let's first of all, please tell us your name and a bit about your educational and professional background, sir.
By the grace of God, I am Reverend Honorable Nagombe Joseph Titus, the coordinator and the founder of NGADA Special Development Area, Taraba State. Special Development Area is a local council area created by the Taraba State government in order to manage communities for direct development. You know, most communities in Nigeria are isolated from development because of either their terrain, difficulty of terrain, or the nature of the people. But there is an area in Taraba that has been isolated in terms of development because of its nature of terrain. And the state government deemed it fit to carve this area to make it a local council development area, like what we have in Lagos. So I am the chairman, which is coordinating the development of the area. I'm also the vice president of the Mambilla Baptist Convention, a church in Taraba State. And Mambilla Baptist is nationwide evangelism and activities. So I have a first degree from the University of Calabar, and I also have a master's in religious and cultural studies from Reformed Theological Seminary MCA in Benue State. And I also have a master's in security studies from Modibo Adama University of Technology in Yola. And currently I'm undergoing a PhD with Nasarawa State University. And I am into community development, and I've worked with several organizations, with NGOs, with international organizations, I'm very happy to be here and to attend to this. I have made several achievements, especially in terms of community development. Today in NGADA Special Development Area, we are proud to have a secretariat, like a local government secretariat. We have employed over 300 people, men and women, youth, to anchor development in the community. We have established departments like the primary health care, like the education, like the agricultural department, and like admin section, that we have built primary health care now to over 21 community in NGADA Special Development. And that is the first time to have a primary health care. We have a minor hospital where we conduct surgery. We loan medical doctors from Jalingo and to go and do surgery in a remote community like that. And we have built over 16 primary schools out of 21 where students now are in school. We have 2 secondary schools that we have over 500 youth in the secondary schools. So we have made these achievements, and by the grace, the community has changed. In terms of agriculture, we have invested over two, 200,000 cocoa stands in the community because the land is good for agriculture. We aimed at establishing agriculture in order to build the community through self-sustenance, because we discover that it is difficult for our government to survive based on the national economic meltdowns of the nation. But when we embarked on agriculture, we felt that will lead the community to grow. So we have planted over 40,000 palm plantation, palm oil stands, and that today, if you go to NGADA, they have palm plantation that we have over 40,000 stands. So and we have started harvesting. So these are areas we have touched life. We have also planted a wing beans. Wing beans is an international bean that we don't have in Nigeria. From the United States, in Michigan, we got that bean and it survived in the area. So by 22 February, we will be launching the produce of that wing beans in Nigeria. And we are also talking with international community to see how we can export this bean again back to the US, because now it's difficult to find that beans even in the US. So these are areas we have touched lives in order to see that the community grow.
Wow. Honorable Chairman, sir, you are actually a great achiever, and we are very proud of you, what you are doing, and how you are impacting life. It's obvious you're a community and a grassroots man. And so, like I always tell people, whatever you are doing for your community, you are doing for the society. Posterity will hold you, will always remember you. And it's a great one to note of what you are doing. So, okay, I want to ask, as an area development chairman, what are actually your function? Even though you've given me idea of some of the things that you do, what is the exact function of area development chairman, sir?
The functions of an area development chairman, as I said, we cited an example of Lagos. And if you see the Lagos plan of action of 1980s, it has what they have today in Lagos, which is a local area development council. You serve as a chairman of a local government, which is created by
Okay.
state. All the responsibility of a local government chairman you carry. You handle the security affairs of the area, you handle the infrastructure development of the area, you manage the human resources, and relate directly to the office of the executive governor of Taraba State, where
Okay.
we get directive and approvals of every project we run, in order to
Okay.
see that what the governor intends to carry out in the community are successful. You are like a manager of as I said, like a local government council. We have a management which is called the local government council, and a management that approve projects and that proposes project and determines in where which community to be mapped out for project. We have water projects that is carried out by international organization, and we resource and linked with international looking at that. We have this area is spread in between 5 local governments, that is Bali, Donga, Kurmi, Gashaka, and Sadona local government in Taraba State. So these local
Wow.
government councils will not touch the administrative affairs of the region that has been carved out to make a local area council. The responsibility
Okay.
is to the council chairman, area council chairman, to carry out every activities that has to do with administration within the region.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Aside from your functions as an administrator, it's also obvious that you are an active player in humanitarian services. And with the insight you have about the plight of the less privileged in society, what do you think is the best approach towards creating a sustainable future for them, especially in Nigeria and Africa at large?
First of all, we looked at that in Nigeria, it is difficult for one to come out single-handedly to say he will manage and make Nigeria a successful or sustainable nation unless you impact within your community. If you begin an impact within your community, it gets especially to your ward. It comes to your local government, to your state, and to the nation at large. One of the major strategic process that will lead us to a sustainable itself is entrepreneurship. Once we teach entrepreneurship within every individual to know how he or she can sustain himself or herself within his or her community, is a very good approach that we can take in terms of sustainability. And secondly, we will look at the skill acquisition now involve every society. Like what we have done in each year, we carry out skill acquisition that survive not less than 60 people. We have 6 districts within NGADA Special Development Area. Each year we have not less than 10 people that go on skill acquisition to know where and how they will survive themselves. So the next thing is education. The problem we have in Nigeria is that everybody or some people want to go to school, but they don't have a purpose that drove their own intention of going to school. We have to educate our youth based on our own proposal. If we have proposal to survive agriculture, we should know how many youth we are sending to school to go and train in order to return to survive the projects we are running in terms of agriculture. You can see that our universities run to graduate many people, but none of them are active within the society because some go to school based on their own intention to go in order to get educated, but they don't have a purpose. The government gives scholarship to students, but they have not oriented these students to say, we are sending you to school in order to go and be educated to return to impact such in your community. We have to have a strategic plan that driven our own society. Each government should have a proposal that intends to survive agriculture, proposal that intends to survive educational sector, proposal that intends to survive our healthcare, that we train midwives that go to school and come back, they don't even know where to go and work because the community, the government in which they live in doesn't have a plan for them. First of all, the government within the local government, the state government, and the nation should have a proposal in how to survive our nation in the sectors in which we run within the society. We have departments of engineers within our universities, but how many graduates of our of our universities graduate to return to serve as engineers within our local government? You can see that either our state a state governor has graduates of engineers within the state, but the people that build our bridges, our roads are Chinese, because the plans of the government does not accommodate the plans of the masses in what they do. So I feel that this is an area that our communities, our societies has to play a role in order to survive and sustain our communities and society.
Honorable Chairman, sir, you know, insecurity has been a big challenge in the development of infrastructure, either education-wise or any other infrastructure, especially in the northeast where you actually live in. and the education sector is not spared. So, what do you think government need to do in order to be able to manage the insecurity situation and also provide quality education for the people?
Insecurity of our nation today and even internationally is a problem that has been caused by us and the government, because we as communities cannot survive this until we know that we are cause and part of the problem. Well, in my community, you cannot come to kidnap somebody and run into the bush where you never know. That means there is somebody within my community that shows these people road and way on how to get out with somebody. And nobody knows who is rich within my community until somebody from my community is able to know and let somebody outside to know that someone within my community is rich and has money and has a good business for somebody to come and kidnap in order to pay ransom. This insecurity has a very big hand of the government, because we cannot say that our satellite is not working. In our satellite, the satellite is working that you can monitor the entire nation in your hand. You can see that we are talking. I am here in Taraba, in Jalingo, you are in Abuja. You are seeing me, I am seeing you. Why shouldn't we use our satellites? I am a master's holder in security studies. I should be a security consultant. The issue of our insecurity is that the government doesn't want to solve the problem. They have things they achieve on the insecurity station of this nation. Why? The policies that is guiding our security architecture is not followed. Our security architecture is not followed. Because you cannot tell me today the government arrests bandits and kidnappers for over 6 years now. We have not had where the government prosecute and deal with or sanction somebody to death because he has kidnapped somebody or he has killed somebody. Why? Does the Constitution of Nigeria being silent? The people that are victims of these activities are not being dealt with. How can you bring, in order to make how can you bring this banditry and bring them back to the village and to the community to say you have forgiven them, they live with the people that they kidnap their parents, the people they kill their people, and even train them abroad? That means the best business for you to go to abroad today until when you become a kidnapper, you become a bandit. So you become a bandit and deal with people, kill people, you come back to the society, they send you abroad again to go and study. While the people you kill are suffering at home, the orphans don't have where to survive. So the government has made banditry a business in Nigeria, where somebody survive and become a better person within the society. But if the government will take to say we have to deal with anybody who is a bandit, anybody who is a kidnapper, either by jail, life imprisonment, or by killing, according to the Constitution and the Code of Conduct of this nation, I want to tell you this thing will stop. I have handled issue of insecurity within my community to a successful level. That you come and we use our community vigilantes to arrest kidnappers. And we become discouraged to carry them to the security, because after 2 days they will release them. They will come back again to live with us. Or you hear they have taken them to Abuja, and after Abuja they have taken them abroad. So how will I feel even to arrest a kidnapper and bring him to the government? So the problem of our security lies in the hands of the government and community participate. Because once I identify that my child or my brother or my sister is into kidnapper, I will use my own tradition and my culture to deal with somebody who is into such kind of things. All of us are governed according to our own tradition and the way of life. Before Nigerian constitution, how does our parents live? If somebody commits a crime within the community, how do we deal with such a person? So I try to run my community based on our tradition, that nobody is allowed to kill somebody, nobody is allowed to pick somebody's 10 kobo, nobody is allowed to take something that doesn't belong to him, talk less of a human being. If somebody takes, there is a rule that guides our community behavior in how to deal with such a person. And we have followed that kind of tradition and succeeded. We cannot again take ourselves and make ourselves a national disgrace by uplifting kidnappers and bandits. I think that is what the government should do.
I'm very emotional about issue of insecurity, honestly. Maybe because I also have a little idea as a criminologist, I have a little idea about management of security and insecurity. Let's leave that for now, so that we'll not delve into what will make us to begin to say things that some of these people will begin to look at us and say, okay, so you are doing this thing for this purpose. Anyway, let me also ask issue of funding has been a big challenge to our developmental process. And then as also a new development area that you are managing. How have you been able to raise funds to do all the great work that you are doing, sir?
Local development area councils are projects of the state and are ideas that state develop to get into areas that government finds it difficult to get to, and that the communities are able to raise to a standard of education to manage themselves. So the state government creates this and makes an allocation from the funding of the government to the development area. And the communities, and as the chairman, I bring a proposal on how to manage this funding annually. So the state government has an allocation for that, and I make a proposal on how to manage it. And secondly, we have to set up a revenue generating process, that this is how you go to market. Once you produce your crop, you are taking it to the market, you have to pay a tax to the government. And once you produce your maize, your banana, whatever you go, you pay a tax to the government. And that becomes a revenue that we put together at the end of 30 days to see, oh, from such community in their market, we have generated so amount of money. And we use the money again to do what? To secure the area, to build health facilities, and to do all this. And also, we contact individuals and international organizations to know that there are people who are living in such a community that is not developed. So how can you help? And there are people who are helping to say, okay, we'll support Zin, and we publish our projects. We say, okay, I'm constructing a primary healthcare in such a community that has such a population, and we want to get a support. This is the level we have gotten into our project, and we need a Zin. Somebody volunteers to give. We also have a sustainability plan. Our major area in sustainability plan of such communities is agriculture. Because you cannot stand as a community and build to say you will remain in begging, or one day if the government doesn't give the money, then we say we have closed down the project. It's not like that. We have set up a sustainability plan to survive the area in terms of agriculture. And we have, as I said, what we have planted now, we have consulted a private organization that will come to manage the cocoa palm, see how it produces, and what share does the government of the development area in the future will take. Because if you allow such projects to be managed directly by the government, it may not survive. But if you have an agreement with an NGO or business organization to manage it for you. Well, you have a percentage and a shareholder in terms of when the production goes on, then it survives. And also, we have a sustainability plan in our own mineral resources. We live in an area that has it acquires a lot of mineral resources. And we are certain to know the kinds of mineral resources we have within our region. And now we will partner with business organizations that come to say, okay, we have quartz in this area, and this quartz is in such quantity. We want to register and coordinate the area to register with the federal government in order to start the mining. Then when you mine, the entity of the development area stands in as the community beneficiary, because the money goes direct to the development area and it goes back to the development of the people. We have set up such plans on how to survive our sustainability through mining and agriculture.
Wonderful. Wonderful, sir. And that I want to ask you, sir. You are a grassroots man. That means you live in a community where you are face to face with the most deprived people on the earth, or even in Nigeria. And the question I'm asking, sir, what do you think that the government need to do to alleviate the challenges facing the less privileged in our society?
Anyway, I've thought of my own standard of proposal that's going on. Our national plan for sustainability, I don't think if we have it. Our nation runs in a scattered way until we get somebody that will capture the future of this nation to see how things will go. The best thing that the government has to do, copying from what we're doing, is agriculture, involving all communities. A busy that involve people, involve everyone. So we have to have a agricultural development plan that we want to check back our history. Look at before the oil, what was people doing to survive Nigeria? It was agriculture. Can we now return to look at each of the regions to say, okay, what does the Northeast produce in agriculture? Who are the people that should be involved? If we have 1,000 people from the Northeast with 100 million each to get involved in agriculture, and they bring in their proposal, 1,000 people, and each person will have not less than also 1,000 to be working in the farm, to be busy and producing, and then the market gets it out. And also looking at our national economic development, we cannot run a country and close up borders entirely without having our sustainability plan, because we live by business. If we close our border and without having a survival plan that has been existing, which will be in implementation, people will die of hunger, because we live by intertrade business nation. If we don't link with business in business with other countries, our people will continue to be poor. Our business, especially in Nigeria, even if we manufacture cars in Nigeria, how many people will buy these cars and use them? Not yet. Okay, if we close up borders for not bringing in cars, we have stopped business of not less than 1,000 people in Nigeria, or million. And the business of these people have closed up. Okay, we must produce things that we export. If we don't export what we produce, then we we can our economic will grow down, because we can only live with money that comes and go into and outside our country. By the time we say, okay, we close border and there's no intertrade affairs, our people will not survive, because government cannot employ everybody. We must work to uplift our people to a standard that they employ other people. So I feel
Wonderful.
that the government should sustain private sectors in order to survive the nation, because government cannot run a country like this alone. It must be run by people who are rich, and it must be run by people. 70% of the employees in Nigeria work with private sector, not with government. So if you want to bring down the private sector, nobody will survive. The government should empower private sector and allow them run. Then people will survive very well in our nation, coupling with our proposal for agricultural sustainability plan.
Well said, sir. Well said. Amazingly, sir, you have been nominated for this year's prestigious Africa Leadership and Philanthropy Awards. So please, I want you to tell our audience, how do you feel about this honor?
First of all, I want to thank God for giving me the privilege to serve humanity. And I want to thank God for people who can sit down to look at how to encourage people that can do something within the society. And I believe, and even God has shown us that even God needs our appreciation. It's not because Sun City was formed from Taraba, but Sun City is an organization that encourages people cutting across countries and nations. I was very happy to receive this notice, because it serves as an encouragement to me, and it serves as a thing that will help me again think of what again to do that will better society. I informed my management and my community, and they were very happy to see that this also explore our existence to the nation. And today I'm talking with you, that people will
Wow.
know that there is a region in Taraba that exists, and that these people have met, and they need government attention, and they've gotten it, and this is the level they are going. Therefore, it is good for us to encourage them. I think that this organization has done something that makes me happy, makes our community happy, and will even makes Taraba happy, because it tells about what the government of Taraba is doing, and people should know that the government is
Can you still hear me, sir? Okay, you can hear me, sir.
Yes, I
Hello.
can hear you now.
Okay,
Yes, I
wonderful.
can hear you now.
Okay, okay, sir. The issue of street life our young ladies, among our young ladies everywhere, and like yesterday, while we had a conference somewhere at Wusetu. I was coming late in the night. What I saw on the streets it was very disturbing. That's the only way I can describe it. And as part of this project, what Sun City Africa, in collaboration with Seed Foundation, is doing is to take about 30,000 young girls out of the streets. I don't know in Taraba whether you are also facing the same challenge of having so many girls doing prostitution or other stuff, in order to make money for themselves, for their family and other, which should not be encouraged. So, what do you feel about this? Uh, or what do you think is the best approach for us to take these young girls off the street?
Sun City, I'm very, very happy um, to you and to this organization. Actually, it's a very good idea. I come from a community that uh, uh, ferment, female or girls' education was prohibited.
Wow.
It
Wow.
was prohibited for a girl to go to school.
Wow.
And when civilization continues, these girls become a useless thing for themselves within the society. And you
Wow.
discover that they have seen civilization, they have not gone to school, and there's no how they can survive now, because the survival structure of now is not like before. So it gets many girls into the street. And that's why my proposal, my funding for educational development, especially scholarship to my community, 70% I give to the girls.
Wow.
Now I have
Wow.
over 42 youth in the school, in tertiary
Wonderful.
institution and many, 42. And out of the 42, 70% in these 42 are girls.
Wow.
You know why? Because these girls roam on the street, not because they are not intelligent, some of them not because they are not educated. It is because some of them are not sensitized in what they should do. Some of them have skills. We have to first of all engage these youth, these girls in symposium. We propose a topic that will challenge the life of these girls. Then involve them into skill acquisition programs. Hello, are you getting me now?
Yes, the
Hello?
network, but go ahead, sir. Yes, network, but go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir. We are having network
Hello?
issue, but go ahead. Yes, I can hear you, sir. I say go ahead. We are
Hello?
having little network issue.
Okay, are you getting me now?
Sure, sure. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. We have to first of all engage these young girls into symposium to teach them. Let us have workshop. Get to a community, get to a quarter or an area, and get them together and gather them. Have a refreshment with them. Let us show we love them. We are not. We shouldn't isolate them to say, "Oh, yeah, they have become prostitutes." Then they are outcasts within the community. No, the community should show them love. The government
Wow.
and international or private agencies should show these people, these girls, love. Get interaction with them to know their problems. What do they want? Some of them, they don't even need, their problem is not husband. Because if you gather 100% of the married families today, I tell you with my experience, 90% want to divorce one another. That
Wow.
means the problem of these girls is not to get married. Their problem is to bring out the potentials in them. They have potentials that even they themselves, they don't even know. By the time we think ideas in them on how they can manufacture things for themselves and survive, they will do better than some good people within the society. I met up with a lady recently around 2008. This lady can produce rubbing oil for them by herself. I was able to encourage until today. She is one of the best and better girls within Taraba State.
Wow. Wonderful.
She graduated, and because I want to tell you that if we encourage and love these girls, get interacted with them. If the Sun City should look at this kind of area like where you passed yesterday in Abuja. Can we organize a program and one night get to there? We have get some area to encourage this, get their address, get their number, gather them together and say we should have a discussion. Prepare a replacement with them, a workshop, and sit them down. After the workshop, maybe we give them some 10,000 naira each or 20,000 naira each for them to go. Then We now understand their address and what they can be able to do. Are they educated? If you are not careful, some of them are graduates. They speak English. They have part to play within the community, but they have been isolated and looked upon like outcasts, like nobody, like they have been spoiled. So they don't even think of the potential in them. So I
Wow.
feel that educating and getting close, loving these girls more will make them repent from that. It's not the time we stand on the pulpit and as I'm a pastor to preach and say these ones are prostitutes, these ones are in the church there somebody is committing a sin that is more than prostitution. What of the bandits and the kidnappers today? How do we talk about them? If we can bring out bandits and educate them, why don't we gather the prostitute
Exactly.
in the street and educate them?
Exactly.
Educate them and bring them out. Like the one you saw yesterday. 5 of them or 10 of them, get them in here, look at their accommodation, look at what they can be able to do. In fact, if you make them sit to come and see you, they will not even, their mind should be occupied with what to do. They will not even understand they have flaked. That is my own idea on how I think we should deal with this kind of situation.
Wow. Amazing. Honestly, I love this insight. Is obvious that you are a true community person because you understand the situation at hand. Okay, we are running up now, sir. Okay, the next question I want to ask about the final question is the issue of collaboration among NGOs, government institutions, to be able to tackle the problem we have, our societal problem. How do you think we can have an effective collaboration within NGOs, within organizations, and also even government? Because I think from what you are doing, other local government chairmen or the development area chairman should also come and borrow leave from what you are doing.
Yes. The best thing in our nation today is trust. And once there is trust, everybody will like to survive and sustain the trust. The problem we have in this nation is that we don't trust one another because we take that the country has spoiled and everybody is a corrupt person. Corruption is not an issue of money alone. In fact, even the Americans, by stealing our ideas in Africa to develop their country, is corruption.
Exactly.
It's corruption. You cannot tell me the most corrupt countries in the world should be the developed country. How do they get to develop? Can America be great without the influence of the third world countries? Can China get to where it is? How can they manufacture something that is to be used within 1 or 2 months? It has spoiled, and they get back again, we buy the same thing. But they don't use this kind of material in their country. Is that not corruption? The first thing is government and NGOs should establish trust with one another. If government establish trust between NGOs and government, then we get into partnership agreement. I have served with international organizations for over 15 years. I developed a strategic plan with a church in Canada that brought what we call NGADA today in Taraba. Because even when we're developing the plan, they don't know we will get to this level. They say, how can I bring government activities and join with church? I was a pastor, but I said, how can I pastor and pray to these people and tell them that God loves them, and when they are pregnant, they don't have a hospital to go and give birth to? 9 women died in 1 day. I told them I want to preach to these people both physically and spiritually. One thing I want you to establish trust in me that I am driving these communities, these churches to a developmental level. Forget of whatever I bring is that either is matching with the government or with the church or is a different idea. Normally, we must have a new idea. The government should have an idea that will come from the NGO and trust the NGO, then partner together in collaboration, we will survive that. By the time the NGO say, okay, we can do better than government is corrupt, it's not a good idea. By the time government say, okay, we have the money, but we don't want to give it out to NGO because when we need it back again, they will not give us. It's not like that. The government should establish a good relationship, trustworthy relationship with NGO that are performing. Because the government is a loose system of organization. I have tested the both sides, where somebody sit without an idea. But every NGO is driven based on its own idea. We have lost, we have not returned to ask ourselves as a nation, why were we a nation? As a state, what makes our people to make a state? If there was no idea, can we develop it today? And if we are developing it, it must be in collaboration with NGOs. Therefore, if there is trust and there is ideas that government can borrow from NGOs, it should be implemented. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Finally, sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really impressed and inspired this morning. Honestly, to be candid, I'm really impressed. And sometimes you don't know people enough. I'm really impressed by your insights, sir. I must really commend you for this. Yes. Lastly, sir, what is your advice to people listening to us, to government, and to the youth who we are actually trying to find a way to help them out of the street, and also the less privileged in the society?
I want to appreciate anybody that has taken his time this morning to listen to us, and those that will engage maybe in time come will download this to listen. Taking your time to get into the ideas we are sharing is one of the things that survives a human being. We should live by our own ideas. Do you have ideas that will survive your life? As an individual, you should define yourself. What does my body need to survive? And how will I get it? And how is the rightful way to get what will sustain my life? If you don't define yourself each morning, you will go out messing your life. I want to encourage the government that we should accept challenge of life. We should accept challenges of what we encounter with. If you accept the challenges of your life, you will survive the life. Pride has overtaken many people, that they feel they can survive above their own stage of existence. You cannot, any moment you feel to survive above your level, you get into a different life that does not belong to you. I want to encourage everyone that you should define yourself as a human being and know what your body wants and know the right way to acquire those things. I feel with that, you can be able to survive no matter how corrupt, no matter how inability of our economies in this nation. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Reverend Nagombe Joseph Titus. Thank you for this opportunity that you've given to us to listen to you. Yes, thank you so much, and we really appreciate. And to our viewers, thank you for finding time to listen to this broadcast. And we are. This is a countdown for the Africa Leadership and Philanthropy Award 2021, and we are going to bring more of our guests, our awardees, and they are going to also share their perspective concerning our society and what they are doing. Until we come back to you again, maybe tomorrow, next tomorrow, or some other time, thank you for being part of this broadcast. God bless you.
Thank you.